And we up. We up. What up, y'all? Welcome to the Bounce and Blitz podcast, episode lucky number 13. It's your
Okay.
boy Dom, your boy T Simp, Voss, Mel Midnight. He out today.
Mm.
Midnight Hyper, he gone.
He,
He'll be
he
back
getting
next
he
week.
getting he getting nervous about that Dort prediction. That's all that
Yeah, I
is.
think so.
Yeah. He on the road scouting right now, making sure Dart ready for the draft. But yeah, man, we back, y'all. We got another episode for y'all, man. We got a lot to talk about. I think the first thing we need to start off with, what y'all think about that Nico situation? Players holding out in college football over NIL money.
Ooh,
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, you get a one in a lifetime opportunity. You got a 2% chance on going pro. The only thing that made me mad, and this I hope it's a rumor, it's not true. I heard
Mhm.
that he was holding out for like a Bugatti, for like this really expensive car. That's stupid. Like at that point, that's stupid. But if you want to make 4 million, if somebody want to pay you that money, go for it. But if you holding out for a car, that's stupid.
I
so
think. Oh, go ahead, Voss. Go ahead.
my first thought was I'm like it's a $2 million difference. I'm like, man, it's kind of extreme for a school to let you go. But then you hear all the other stuff about the Bugatti and all the other stuff, and I'm like, why couldn't you do all this like in the off season before spring training? Like,
Right.
yeah, like there's a time and place for it. You don't want to be doing like like that speaks like his agent told him to do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, put some pressure on the college campus, put some pressure on them, and have them, rethink because you can leave in spring training, ain't no problems. I'm like, if you're going to enable them like that, of course the school is going to have a knee jerk reaction. Well, you can go then.
Hmm.
Right.
And I think when I first saw it, I'm like, his agent. The only way I do this from Nico, my agent has to basically been talking to the schools and guaranteeing me that $4 million
Yeah.
when I
Right.
go out there. And now that he's out there and teams talking about we ain't gonna touch him unless he get to 1 million, and UCLA's only one is wanting to offer 1.75.
Right.
So I'm about to
Take them all
lose
out.
money and go back to California with higher taxes
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because I got some bad information from my agent and my dad.
And lower exposure. I mean, you out the SEC now.
Yeah, you out of the SEC. Now I will say the rumor that's coming out, and it could be the agent, and he might be doing a good job trying to spin it, saying that the Tennessee offense hasn't, the players from the Tennessee offense haven't successfully transitioned into the NFL because of how that widespread it really hasn't translated.
Right.
I mean,
That's
they've only
fair.
had the offense like 2 or 3 years though. It's you kind
Right.
of need a longer,
Yeah,
even with the what was it? The old boys fun and gun offense. It took like 5 years before it produced some fruit. Like
yeah.
you
Right.
gotta give our offense time to jail.
I think
And
it
you
was
a freshman.
Booker, Joe Milton, Cedric Tillman, the Hyatt kid from the Giants. I think
Right.
this year though, I think that running back gonna be good when he go to the league.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that they're trying to put that out there to spin it like, oh, it wasn't all for the money, it was for X, Y, and Z. But I'm like,
No, it was
he
for the
was starting
money.
off for $4 million. If I was looking for $4 million and I get out to this port and I only get 1.75, my agent
Exactly.
fired. My agent fired, and dad, respectfully, you ain't dealing with my
Right.
business stuff no more.
Hmm.
I
Cause
think
that,
he just waited too long. Like,
yeah,
just like you said the other day, teams already spent their money. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if he would have came out in end of the season right after the playoffs, I don't think Miami has Carson Beck. I
Hmm.
think Miami would have paid
right,
him $4 million a year because they're gonna look at Nico and say, Nico, we might could have him for 2 years versus Carson Beck. We're only gonna have him for 1 year.
right.
That's fair.
And Oklahoma would have went after him too.
Mm-hmm.
So you had some big fishes that you could have, but the timing of it, I'm like, you got some bad advice from somebody to say, like you said, pull like an NFL agent, like hold out, like bro, this ain't the NFL.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Colleges ain't used to this, and they gonna have a knee jerk reaction saying, you know what, man, we got a backup, dog. Just go ahead and hit the portal.
right. And most people that do it in the NFL, they do it after they got 5 years of film. You got 1 year as a freshman, bro. Like you have no bargaining at that point. Like,
You was cool. We all know Nico has potential to be a top 5 pick off his arm talent and his
exactly.
But 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's a nice freshman year, but that isn't.
Yeah,
That ain't setting the bar on fire. That isn't enough to me. Like if he would have had Cam Ward numbers, I'd be like, yeah, come back, come back to the negotiating table. I need $4 million. Like whatever Carson Beck.
And I don't think they would have I don't think they would have had a problem paying him that.
Mm-hmm. You just think it was the time and how he moved.
Yeah, it's the timing, how he moved, and then there's another report that apparently they didn't hear it from him. They didn't find this out through him. They found out he was doing this through Oregon. Oregon basically said, "Hey, the quarterback's out there back dealing, fishing for some incentives," and then that's when they found out. So you didn't even find out via him. So at that point, you're already thinking, "Oh, he's trying to backdoor us anyway. He got to go."
Yeah, he's looking for the best offer.
Yeah, like I said, and then doing it. Like I said, if this was way back in the beginning of before all the trainings and all the other stuff, but the timing just couldn't have been worse. Like the agent, it felt like it was a leverage play, but this ain't the NFL where you have a contract guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
This is really strictly speaking, and I think the NCAA needs to maybe not like how they've always been over it, but they need to, in terms of making these, some regulations at least.
Maybe make it a contract. To me, make it a contract. If a player leave, he has to pay back some of that money. I think that should be.
I don't know about that now.
I'm saying, let's say a percentage. I'm saying if you had let's say if they had an NIL contract with you that was 4 years, $10 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the league in year 3, I don't got to pay you that 4th year. You get what I'm saying?
That's fair. I think they should do 1 year, like 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
So you think renegotiated every year?
Yeah, every year. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really blame Tennessee. You can't really blame Nico. They just wasn't on the same page.
True.
Yeah.
I'm fine with, especially, in NCAA basketball, one and done, all there. Of course, you can't do that in college basketball. But you should be able to do like maybe 1 to 2 years max of, hey, this is what we want. Because, I mean, just like Deion Sanders said, you think I'm going to listen to a kid that flipped his commitment? He ain't faithful to his girlfriend. Like, none of these players are going to be faithful. They see another deal, they want it. So I think a 4-year contract would be crazy. It would just be crazy.
Maybe
I think they should ban anything over 3 years. Yeah. Because I've heard about that NIL deal about that D tackle son. Basically, he got hurt and the NIL is coming at him like, "Hey, we need our money back."
Now that's diabolical. Now that's diabolical. I got hurt. Now you like, you ain't playing no more.
Yeah. I mean, there's crazy stories about NIL. Like NCAA, I know they're like, "Hey, we're washing our hands with it. You do what y'all want. It's between you and the school." Mm-hmm. But I do think, hey, you're over the thing. You should at least protect the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Protect the kids from themselves, because sometimes they see the money, they don't see all these clauses in the contract and whatnot.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. I think Cam Newton, I was watching his podcast and he said it best. He was like, the problem he feel like with the players, how they view NIL is they're thinking it's going to be generational money. And he even said, he was like, bro, $1 million. He was like, that ain't much after Uncle Sam busted down. And he was like, it ain't much. You got to look at that as this is enough for me to live comfortable for a year or two. This could be a set myself up for the rest of my life money, for how you depend on how you move. But he was like, you don't look at that like an NFL contract. He was like, what Nico pulled was what you pulled for an NFL deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that deal will set you up for the rest of your life. If I got to kick and scream to get $100 million, that's cool. But he was like, kicking and screaming to get $2 million more when you might be a top 5 pick next year.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't think the NFL gonna bring this up. They're gonna ask you multiple questions. Why did you leave Tennessee? Why did you do that to him?
Cam Newton knows best. They brought up test results for him when he was a junior in college. That's how maniacal the NFL is.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know who your agent was, but if it were me, he ain't my agent no more, and Pops, respectfully, I need you to just be my
Sit
Pops.
down. To be my dad.
Yeah, just be my dad. Like, I know you trying to get us extra money, and honestly, he might could have got an extra $1 million because they even said his NIL evaluation went up. It was 3.5 million. So he might could have went back, renegotiated for 3 million, 3.5. But like you said, it's the optics, how you do things, boom, boom, boom. Honestly, if he just goes to camp, practices, and then, hey, coach, can we renegotiate the NIL deal a little bit? I just need a little extra money. I doubt the coach gonna have a problem with it.
This wasn't a small school. This wasn't like that UNLV situation.
Yeah,
where you fighting for every penny you get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got so let me go back to my list here, just to fully go through. In y'all opinion, looking at the NFL draft, do y'all think that there's gonna be any sleepers, or let's just say not even sleepers? Let's go. I got a sleeper, but what do y'all think as far as teams might be overlooking in this draft, as far as a position, a player, things of that nature?
When you say overlooking, you mean like someone that they think is better than what they are?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know who I'm gonna say. I've seen him live. I don't think he's that good. T-Mac from Arizona, or the wide receiver. Very raw talent, very tall, very fast, but his work ethic is just so piss poor. I think, like I said before, he'd be like a Ruben Randall, very talented, very great wide out, have a good 2 to 3 year stint. But at that time, when you start negotiating the contract, they're gonna really look at what are you doing when you're off the field. Because just like he already came out, he don't look at film, he don't care for film. He's just not a hard worker. And Steve Smith said it too. Like he just don't see him being a great player. I think he would be a good player, but he ain't gonna live up to it. He ain't gonna live up to the hype.
So,
I would
so
not
when you hear T-Mac, guys, I'm gonna say a range in the draft. You tell me you find it crazy. All right, T-Mac top 5.
Diabolical.
T-Mac top 10.
Still crazy.
Top 15. So let's say Dallas. Dallas area. The Dallas to San Francisco.
I personally think Dallas is the worst place you can go.
Yeah, Dallas would be the worst place. 15, I understand it, but I wouldn't agree with it. I would say top 20.
So you say San Diego Chargers at 20. That'd be your range, or you'd be comfortable making that pick based off of what it could be.
Yeah, now if the Chargers pick him, he probably be a bust. They don't have good luck. But
yeah,
wait.
You got Ladd, you got Herbert. Herbert liked tall receivers.
Okay, but Ladd wasn't a first round pick though.
No, he wasn't.
Ladd hit on him, but all the big time receivers, they did that. But I think around 20 range would be fine. 20, 22, big range.
But in your opinion, these mocks that got him top 10, top 15. He couldn't do it.
Not if he going to a bad team. When he was in Arizona, he just looked like he did not care.
I get what you're saying. You got to go to a winning culture, a culture that can change.
Go to a winning culture.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay. All right, Vosky, you want me to go first, or you want to go?
Hey, go ahead, go first.
All right, so I got 2. So, my one has became popular among the scouting community. I got Matthew Golden over T-Mac. I think he's easily the best receiver. I think Matthew Golden, Carolina Panthers, or either Dallas or San Francisco should pick him. He get on verticality, get him more speed. He's the best route runner in this class to me. And not to mention, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see Matthew Golden on film as a 4.29, but I saw him as a 4.3, 4.4. When I saw 4.29, I'm like, oh, so he could really go and be a vertical threat. So to me, Matthew Golden is my number 1 receiver. And my second take is Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green, the tight end, will be the best tight end out of this class. Everybody's talking about Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. And I love them. They're good talents. Here's my problem with, and this goes to another crash I'll take. I don't believe you should take a tight end in the first round. The last 10 years, the tight end in the first round, people talk about running backs. Running back has hit more than tight end. O.J. Howard failed. Kyle Pitts failed. The tight end in the first round has not worked out outside of T.J. Hawkinson in Detroit, but he got moved to Minnesota, so he's not even on his team that drafted.
Right.
So, and you look at the best tight ends outside of Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is the anomaly. Travis Kelce, 3rd round. George Kittle, 3rd round. Darren Waller, when he was in the league, 5th round. The best tight ends have been to that 2nd to 3rd. Dallas Goedert, 2nd round. Zach Ertz, 2nd round. To me, the position you could find better talent mid-round and still potentially hit on a potential all-pro versus, okay, I got this 1st rounder who might be a physical specimen, but what if he don't figure it out? Now I just wasted a 1st round pick for a tight end when I kind of could have got a defensive end.
I think you're looking a little bit. It's a little heavy-handed on recency bias. I understand. Like you gotta. I always throw that Atlanta one out because Atlanta doesn't know how to use their playmakers.
I give you that. Pitts,
That's
I ain't gonna lie, I thought Pitts was that's 1,000. That's 1,000
Yeah,
yards.
that's a 1,000-yard receiver. Yet they can't seem to get him involved in the offense. Man, let him go somewhere else. Like even when they had Julio had like 3 seasons mysteriously where he couldn't even get 5 touchdown passes.
But 1,500 yards.
Yeah, but 1,500 yards. Like you see something the way they scheme their players. I guess they use them more as a decoy. Everybody knows they're great, so they use them as a decoy. I don't know. So you got to throw Atlanta. Yeah, you got to throw Atlanta out. Like
But what about OJ Howard?
I think OJ Howard was hype over that.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
we
yeah,
saw with him.
So you think? Yeah. So do you think with the tight end, you shouldn't draft him unless you are going to specifically feature them?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Raiders did with Brock Bowers. Like if I draft him, he's going to be my number 1.
Like like Bowers or Detroit had a tight end, Laporta one.
Yeah. Well, no, Laporta mid-round. Laporta was mid. Hawkinson, when he was in Detroit, he was the 1st rounder.
Okay, I got mixed up.
Yeah. Now Laporta was like a 4th rounder. That's crazy. Iowa producing all these mid-round tight ends. But
when did they draft Ingram? What round was he?
Evan Ingram was 1st round. He was a bust in New York.
Yeah.
His first team he was a bust.
Yeah, you see, I see a pattern here. Like all these are really bad, really outside of Atlanta, which we've talked about them. Outside of Atlanta, these are really bad teams. They keep getting drafted to.
But
and it's hard.
Let me get back to my sleeper. We won't get back to the tight end talk. But that was.
I got a sleeper too. Whenever y'all get done,
but Harold Fannin Jr. Just to give y'all an idea of how underrated this guy is to me. This year he led the nation in tight ends with 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. I know what you're saying. He played in the MAC, right? Well, he played Penn State and I want to say Ohio State back to back.
Yeah.
130 yards in both of the games.
Dang, that's not bad.
My bad. No, Penn State, Texas A&M. 2 good defenses. Against Penn State, 11 touches, 137 yards, touchdown. Against Texas A&M, 8 touches, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. So to me, he isn't one of those players where it's the MAC. To me, when he on the field, he's balling. And for him to have a 4th or 3rd round grade with the film I'm seeing, now he is a smaller tight end around 6'4", 6'3", ran a 4.7, but the ball in his hands, his special ability is breaking tackles. Like when he get the ball in his hands and he start breaking tackles, it get real. So I think he's gonna be a steal for whoever gets him in the 3rd or 4th round. And it wouldn't surprise me if we look back on this draft and say he's the best tight end. I love Tyler Warren, but I don't know. I got to see where he goes. But I think Fannin's going to end up being the best player in this draft. I think he's going to be underrated. We're going to look back and say, because he went to a small school, we devalued the film, even though against big schools, he still dominated.
Yeah.
That's
but who do you got, Terrence, as your underrated player?
My underrated player, he actually played in the same game that I saw T-Mac play. Jake Beck, TCU from Lafayette, Louisiana. Very good receiver. Reminds me of like a Joel Elliman, Wes Welker type receiver.
Yeah.
2024, he had 62 receptions, 1,034 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he was a Senior Bowl MVP. He's very solid. He's a hustler. I mean, every play you don't know if they're running or if they throwing because he hauling ass. And I think he would be a good sleeper this draft. He nice.
So, what were you about to say, Voss? What was your
Yo, mine's was I'm an LSU fan, and outside of Bama, we have one other rival that seems to give us hell every now and then. Now they haven't recently, but even still, receiver out of Arkansas, I think his name's LaSalle.
I know what you're
LaSalle,
talking about.
the 6'4" one.
Yeah, the 6'4".
I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say this: when he goes, like when he gets some goes to the league and gets some better coaching, watch out for him. He gives me boy catches. Boy's got some of the best ball skills for a tall guy I've seen in a while.
Okay, okay. And I'm gonna add one more. If you was a GM, I know I mentioned the tight end rule. What would be what would be some of the
Yeah,
rules you would have going into the draft? Would some GMs have a running back not in the
yeah,
first round?
yeah.
What would be some of your things you look at? Looking at the history of the draft.
Looking at the history of the draft.
The history of the draft. I mean,
Always
honestly,
put
y'all
EPA versus team needs.
y'all may
Oh,
drag
okay.
me for this. Y'all may drag me for this, but I say quarterback. Like, if you have a
Yeah,
good unit, you don't have to draft a quarterback first round. Like, if you have, like, for example, like the 49ers, if you have a good unit like they had the last 5 years with receivers, running back, tight end, defense was stout, find you a quarterback that can throw that ball, but don't have to be a first round overall pick. Like especially in this draft, like if a team's
oh
gonna
yeah,
hunt for a quarterback, it's gonna be hell outside of Cam Ward, maybe Shador, that guy from I forget the third rank guy,
Oh,
Dart, but it's
darn.
another guy
yeah,
too.
Dart.
Yeah, like don't chase a quarterback. Like find you a Tom Brady. You know, just find you somebody.
I was, let me go. Let's go, Dak. Tom, finding the go hard. Let's
Yeah,
go.
find you a Dak Prescott.
Yeah, find you a Dakota. Find you a Dak, a Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Um, Second round, I do feel like there's value, and I do feel like quarterback is definitely a position that I ain't gonna say overrated. It's the most important position, but teams overdrafted.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
so I'm kind of conflicted in this because the reason they make an emphasis on putting the quarterback in the first round is because you get that extra year of flexibility.
Oh, before you have to
Like,
pick.
yeah, that's that
That's
extra year
fair,
in
man.
case you do hit on him. You think he's the franchise guy. Now I'm all for if doubling back on him. That would be one of the ones that I would have said doubling back on quarterbacks. Like if you get one in the first, don't be afraid to get one in the third or the fourth.
Right,
I
right,
like Drake
Yeah,
right.
May, Will Milton,
like the RG
Mm-hmm.
three and the Kirk
Kirk
Cousins
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Yep.
situation. Yeah, don't be afraid to double back, especially if he has injury concerns or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
Right.
Eagles account for that. Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts. They paid Carson Wentz a year before and still drafted Jalen Hurts a year afterwards because they had questions about Wentz.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes
A
sense.
lot of teams when they did, they would just say, "Well, we paid Wentz. We
Mm-hmm.
honestly, Jacksonville might be one of those teams. We ain't gonna talk. I think Jacksonville need to put a little pressure on Sunshine to perform.
Oh
But
yeah.
Yeah.
what do y'all think about the MILF of the running back in the first round?
It really depends on the draft. I think this draft is justified. I mean, they have a lot of good running backs this draft. They
Yeah,
have a lot of good ones. Now, obviously, most drafts, no, because I mean, running backs are just like a used car. You get a running back for about 3 years. When they want to get paid, find you somebody else. But I mean, if you can find a good running back in this draft, I think you can. Like Genty, he's great. Scatterview, I think would be
Mm,
great.
yeah.
The guys from Ohio State would be great.
Both,
You know,
yeah.
so
yeah.
Tennessee running back. Shoot, RJ
right.
Harvey from freaking I forget the not Central Florida,
Yeah,
UCF,
Central Florida. Yeah,
Kansas and
Yeah.
Kansas State running back.
Yeah. I'm of the mindset of if you get a quarterback in the first round, he has to be can't miss. Like he
yeah,
has to be
Oh, you
like
get a running back. Okay,
I need an Zeke Elliott season coming out the bubble.
right.
Like
I
coming
respect that.
out the what you call like it's too easy to find them in the third, the fourth
Hmm.
round for you to be in there and coming in there and getting 1,000 yards. Like the bar for 1,000 yards is so easy to hit now if you get a back with enough touches. Like
Mhm.
Right.
that's all I'm gonna say on that. Like he has to be can't miss. There's got to be something that pops. Like Saquon had that, Zeke had that. Now,
Adrian
granted, now once he
Peterson,
got Adrian Peterson had that.
Chris
Like
Johnson.
it's gotta be something.
Yeah.
But I would say it's easier for a running back to transition than a quarterback, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
it's so much easier. So they put so much like 1-2 seasons on a quarterback, and it's like, how can you expect him to do this? But if you get a badass running back like Genty, I think he can go for 1,600 yards.
Yeah.
And you might
Right.
use that
Right.
one pick this year, and then you might find a fairly decent quarterback and it bounce off the offense. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with a running back first round, but like you said, it got to be a hit because you could find someone next year, and the next year after that, next year after. I mean, you can always find somebody.
Yeah. Like I was telling one of our colleagues in our group chat, because he brought up James Cook. He was like, Buffalo should pay him. I'm like, if I'm a GM, I'm only paying first round talented running backs.
Exactly.
And in my mind, the only running backs that are coming up that I'm willing to pay, came out the last couple classes, Gibbs, Bijan. After that, I need more film. I need 1,500 yards. Like you want $15 million? I need 1,500 yards. I need 100 yards per $1 million.
Exactly.
And I just feel like you said, for me to pick you in the first round, especially like the top half, you got to be special. Now, if it's the late first, like I don't really count.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's like
ends. Like they got to pick late first. To me, they were just picking. Okay, this is the best player on our board. Blase.
Yeah.
But if I'm picking you top 15, you better be generation.
Exactly.
So, did y'all get a chance to watch them playing games?
I watched a couple of them. I saw the Hawks.
What y'all think about Trey Young, man? My boy Ice Trey with the ejection. They got him the F up out of
You see, I have to say, man, these free throw merchants, Harden, you better look out. You better look out. They not calling it this year.
You see Trey getting mad.
Yeah, you saw Trey. They got Trey up out of here.
Man,
I think it calls. You gotta go.
I think the first tech was a little much. I mean, he did toss the ball kind of hard, but that's the heat of the game. The second tech, you just
that second tech, that boy hit a little like you.
I feel like you got Charles Barkley is like, you know what, man? I just don't feel like playing. I want to go home early. Let me go get these showers. It's time for me to get up out here. Let me go act the fool in front.
Oh, like Orlando anyway. Let's get back to the A.
Yeah.
That's how he felt. I mean, he just wanted to go home. They weren't gonna win.
No, they weren't. It was obvious.
I looked at the Hawks and I'm like, I just watched the game. I'm sitting here like, Trey Young, I think it's time for you to ask for a trade, man.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time for you to ask for a trade. This team don't got a future. I love Dyson Daniels. I love Zachary Richardson. Orlando was doubling trade.
Oh yeah.
And daring him to pass that ball. And them boys they were building the house, man.
Yeah, man, it's time.
Yeah, I think the one that shocked me was the one I didn't expect Dallas to beat the brakes off sack like that, though.
Right. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect. I looked up. Clay had 16 and a half, 4 threes. Anthony Davis had 14. I said, "Oh,
man, that team is really well built. It's just that they lost both their playmakers. That's the only thing that really killed. Like if they had Luka right now, it's safe to say that they're number 3.
Yeah, they had Luka right now. They're finals.
Yeah, they're number 2. Yeah, they're in the finals with AD. But I'm like, with that previous team with Luka and just them centers and all that, I think they're back number 3, number 2 seed. Would have been easy. That's why it was so mind-boggling that you would trade him away when the team's built around his skill set.
Oh no, what killed me was, I don't know if y'all saw this report. So Nico said no camera, no video allowed. It's going to be a secret media session. And these dudes had to be old school and basically up there typing everything that was said. And they would ask him, so, how do you feel about the AD trade? Would you still do it? He was like, yeah, I still do it. I still do it.
I think you moving some paper around. It's a lot of static in the background.
My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. basically he was like, they were asking him about would you still do the trade? You know, how do you feel about the trade? You know, looking back what happened, he was like, when healthy, I still feel like Anthony Davis is a top 5
Oh
player.
yeah, I saw that dumbass.
And defense wins championship. I stand by what I said. We had to get better on the defensive end to win a championship. And no, Dave McMenamin was the one that got me. He was like, so, you know, Luke was 25. You traded away your 23, 24, 25, 27, and 29 first round pick. You know, Luka was, you know, going to be the franchise player for 10 years. You only got a 3 to 4 year window. So do you think you leveraged your future for now and it didn't work out? And he was like, oh, I'm worried about the future. And then he reiterated, he doubled back and said, so you sure you worry about the future when you only got a 3 to 4 year window to win it all? And Luka had you in the finals last year. And you could tell from reading he was frustrated. Because he was like, another question. He was like, let's move on. And then Dave McMenamin was like, so you fired, you know, your training staff, and last year this training staff had Luka and everybody healthy. Do you think it's fair that you fired everybody? And he said, I can't help what owners do.
See, that's what he should have said from the beginning. It wasn't his decision.
Yeah,
oh no, this would kill me. He asked him, you know, before you made the Luka trade, did you consult with, you know, all the owners, Mark Cuban, Jason Kidd? He was like, nah, I just made the trade.
Yeah, I remember that first interview. He with him and Jason Kidd. He said, "Well, I don't feel like I have to ask Jason Kidd all the time. We're on the same wave." And Jason Kidd was just like, just looking forward. Like, I don't agree to this. Bad,
I'm like, he's your head coach. He's gonna be coaching this guy.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if you say we gonna get AD, you better tell me who we trading. Now, it'd be messed up. He came in like, man, we about to get AD. I know Jason Kidd been thinking, dang, for Kyrie, well, all right, go ahead and do it. Go ahead. He know he ain't thinking about Luka.
No.
As soon as he was set that thing up there, Luka. Nah, that's fake. Nico, we ain't trading Luka, did we? Yeah, we did. But yeah, I thought the Mavs, watching that game, I'm sitting here like, this team really could be dominant and might be a great team next year. But I don't know. I don't know if they can get past that Luka trade.
They chop liver. Their window died when Kyrie what was it, ruptured his
Achilles.
Ruptured his Achilles. Yeah, that died with that because optimistically speaking, he might not come back till halfway through the season.
Yeah,
right.
You can pick up another point guard. It's just I look at that. It's like this is wasted potential because this is one of the best defensive teams.
Yeah,
but not no ball handling. But
ball handling.
I was shocked they beat the brakes off Sac like they did. Golden State. Hey man, I'm just gonna say it, man. They look like Jimmy Jordan. They're like playoff Jimmy. They're like playoff Jimmy. They're like Jimmy Buckets. If he play like that, they go into the conference championship.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. They got a chance.
I do think that first round. People say, you know, everybody talking about Golden State in 5 against Houston. Houston ain't no pushover.
No.
Udoka is not for the go out in 5.
That's fair, but it might not be 5. It might be 6. But
yeah, no, I think realistically, I think 6.
Man, it's 7. Steph Curry and
you go back to the Thompson defense.
Man, right now, I've been looking at reels on Thompson, and for a young cat, dude play defense.
Right.
Like, he's completely bought in. And I mean, like, pick and roll, like, that's like the Warriors' go-to thing. That pick and roll to set up and get stuff running and all that motion stuff. It does not seem to work when Amon's on him.
Yeah, he. If I had to give a comparison, I know this is going to be, some people might find it's crazy. It's almost young Kawhi-like.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's young Kawhi-ish, but he might be scared. He's more athletic than Kawhi was.
Yeah,
he's faster. He could jump. He could jump higher. Like Thompson's gonna be the key to the series. I also think Dylan Brooks. I got to put him on Jimmy. I got to make sure Jimmy ain't going. I got to keep Jimmy in 20. Yeah, Jimmy can't get in the 30. Jimmy can't get the 30 piece with the 8 assists, 8 rebounds. No.
Well, I mean, that's the series right there. If they keep them dudes under, I mean, Golden State might get swept.
Yeah,
Like that's just how dependent they are on their two
on them two.
stars.
Yeah, they depend on them two. I mean, if
Yeah,
I'm,
they depend on them too. I can see that. Yeah.
well, I say that's gonna be an interesting series. As far as the East, Miami won. You know, if I'm
I,
a Heat
I'm
fan, do you really want your team to get in the
I'm
playoffs?
here to tell you, we do not care.
We do not care.
You do not care who wins out of Atlanta, Mike.
No, we do not care.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's go into the first.
Cleveland in 5, 4.
Maybe 3.
All right, let's go to the first round predictions. Oh, you know what? Let's just go for who you think might get upset. I got
Okay.
mine. Terrence, you ain't gonna like it.
Hey, before you say yours, I'm very realistic. We are not where we need to be. I love my Knicks, and I would say it to the death of me. Pistons, distance, your mama tripping, Knicks in 5, but we may get beat. We may get beat because we not where we need to be right now, and we not healthy.
I will say
I can
on
see
2K, the Knicks dominant on 2K. Well,
Oh yeah.
they won on
Okay.
2K. That pick and roll with Pat and Brunson. My
Yeah.
God. He won. But,
Hey, but in 2K, we smart enough to sub them out when they get tired.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, we still them. We
Yeah,
fluctuate.
Thibodeau don't believe in
you
tired.
don't do it, man. I think our biggest problem is going to be, and I mean, I hear people saying, "Kay Cunningham, I'm cool with that," but I think our biggest problem may be Malik Beasley, the way he shoot the ball, man.
Yeah, him and Hardaway. You got to keep them two in check.
Yeah.
Man,
You got to keep.
and I'm
them
realistic. If we win, it'll be in 6 or 7 games. It's not going to be no 5 nothing. It's going to be a hard series, and we could lose. Like, I'm being honest, like, we could lose.
I don't got y'all losing, but I do because I think Detroit first time making the playoffs. They got to go through them playoff
That's
lows.
The growths.
Yeah, the growth spurts. But their play style is directly good for this time of the year because they are a defensive grit and grind team. To me, they remind me of a young Memphis. You do not want to see them in the playoffs because that's a 6-game series. You're gonna need your ice pack.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a long, fought out series. But experience-wise,
No offense. I thought so. I thought this might have been one too that Detroit might can get them. They don't got the juice for this one.
Yeah.
Barring everybody stays healthy, like y'all are next. No offense, y'all are one injury away from this being a completely different series.
Exactly. Yeah.
And barring Cade emerging. Now, if Cade emerge on y'all, but in superstar mode, like Trae Young,
even with him emerging, I still say Knicks in 6. It's just like I sit there and say, outside of Cade, outside of what Cade has done, I'm like, they can absorb a Cade 49.
Yeah, Cade 49. You just can't have Cade 40. Malik Beasley the 20. Malik Beasley the 23s.
Let the others eat too now.
You can't let Baby Thompson. If I'm Detroit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm putting the brother Thompson on Brunson. I ain't even finna lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm not even finna let Brunson get off like that. But I think that's gonna be a close fall series. My upset, part of me wants to say this because I don't like the Lakers. They fans really, the Lakers in 5. They thinking they're gonna 5 everybody. It's just diabolical. And I'm sitting here like, wait a second, y'all like Kobe didn't walk back through the door. I love Luka, but Kobe ain't walked through that door.
Hey, you gotta give him props though. They said Bronny James is who? Portraying Anthony Edwards, right? Come on now.
No.
He the scout.
All I'm gonna say to this, y'all better win this series. Y'all better win this series. Man,
nah, man, put your name on it. Who gonna upset the Lakers?
Ant-Man in 6, god dang it. Ant-Man in 6.
Could happen. I just think
real talk, that was my upset too.
I think people are underestimating who Ant-Man is and forgot this man took Jokic out last year. And honestly, I think if Jokic and them get past Ant-Man, they go into the finals and they have a chance to beat Boston just because of their play style.
Yeah.
I think Ant-Man, the Lakers thinking they about to win this series in 5 is asinine. This is a 7-6 game series. I think 7.
Yeah, I think 7 too.
Lakers don't got nobody that can cover Ant. They're gonna have to
Boys done.
double him.
I didn't realize it. Boys made 300 threes this year.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
improved.
I think he number one.
Like I'm like, bro, how in the hell he go from like he was
Yeah, he
always
nice.
a fairly decent 3-point shooter. How he go from that to reincarnation of Clay?
Shit, that child support. You mad? That man trying to hustle for that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I would
You know,
too.
you remind me of that Dave Chappelle joke. I'm out here fighting the court. I'm out here fighting a lawsuit on the
taking
court,
taking my
man. All out.
taking my frustration out on the court.
That man trying to get that mega extension. I don't blame. I be shooting too.
My
Yeah,
boy shooting on and off the
man,
field.
I think if JJ Redick going to this series, I think the number one thing if you're Timberwolves, because everybody bringing up Luka, and I do think Luka is obviously a mismatch.
Yeah.
He don't got the bigs like he did in Dallas for the lobs. Like Jackson Hayes, I can run him off the court. I can get him in foul trouble easily, get him off the court. Now you got Vanderbilt, who can't shoot, great defender, but can't shoot. It isn't a lob threat.
Right.
But I think this series is gonna be a good win. I just don't. Them Lakers in 5 is killing.
That's
That's crazy.
They're gonna have a series. They're gonna get to the conference championship.
It's okay. Ant's gonna punch him in the mouth like game one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm counting on that game one. They're gonna beat them now because they got Luka, and I've seen this before. It's Luka and LeBron.
Oh,
I gotta keep reminding myself that it is. They're gonna lock in. Like I do think this is a 7-game series. I just think, man, it's really Ant-Man, and then if Randall shrinks, where's that other punch coming from? You know, last year they had Cat. He give you 25 before he fouled out.
Facts.
Yeah, you know, but where's that extra punch gonna come from? Is it gonna come from the guard? Is it gonna come from the forward spot? I mean, I don't know where it's coming from.
DiVincenzo will have to have a good game. We'll have to have a good series. He have to.
Have to have we're gonna have to have a good series, especially with the fact that JJ Redick's philosophy. He's not afraid to pack the paint out.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, he can shoot threes. We'll make sure we guard him, but everybody else go ahead shoot, take as many as you want.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think I thought about this too. Randall, he shouldn't have an issue in this series. Rui Hachimura, Rui Hachimura, you should be looking at him like, what Shaq say? Barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Like,
we're talking about a 40-pound difference.
You know, Randall don't like doing that though. He want to shoot.
Oh no! That's what I got Ant-Man for.
If he's shooting this series, he gotta go.
Yeah, you need to go on the bench. Put in McDaniels at the 4.
That's why I needed him out of my team, man.
Oh, that's still
too much.
People talk about. I do think y'all traded too much for Mikal Bridges. Now that Cat trade though, that was a fleece. That was a fleece.
Yeah,
I like Mikal. He's been good. Now we did give up a lot, especially DiVincenzo, but it's panning out.
I think the other series I think it's gonna be interesting. But I don't even want to talk about the first, the 1 and 8 seed in the East. To me, the East is kind of easy to predict. The West is where it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about Denver and the Clippers.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
I think it's 7 games. I think it's a 7-game series.
You think it's 7?
If Kawhi stays healthy, that Clippers could be a problem.
Oh, y'all are actually thinking like the Nuggets are the favorites. Man, I don't know if I see it that way.
Oh, you got the Clippers as the favorites.
Yeah, that's what I got. I mean, this is one of the years where I'm like, I think the Clippers are going to go. They're not getting out. I'm not making it to the finals. I don't believe in Harden like that.
I think
I don't either.
They could beat the OKC.
But yeah, if Kawhi stays healthy, I think they can make conference.
Yeah, just because Harden's been holding. Harden, I'll give him a credit this year. Him and Norman Powell held them together to get out, make sure they weren't in the play-in.
Yeah,
right. Make sure they wasn't in the play-in. And Harden's presence on that team, he's made Zubac become a borderline all-star player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be interesting. I can't. It's just hard for me to go against that big joker.
It's hard to go against him, man.
Because I done seen him give Rudy Gobert a 60-piece triple-double.
Oh, no. I honestly think this is like that the Jordan versus Celtics. Not to say the Clippers or the Celtics or anything like that. They're not no juggernaut or anything. I'm just saying the Clippers got so many other options they can go to,
And
and
you want the man.
it's just
Mm,
Joker.
yeah.
Unless Jamal Murray, even if he does come back, he's coming back from an injury, and his
They need
first
both.
Right.
task,
They need
yeah,
both of them all.
Right.
they need bubble Jamar. They don't need off just got off injury Jamal. Like it's not gonna fly in this series. And
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
Westbrook's like as much as we talk about Harden being a negative in the playoffs, at least we get something. We know we can get. I know I can
Assists.
count on 15, 10 assists, a couple rebounds here. I don't know with Westbrook.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just effort. It seems like.
Yeah, sometimes effort and defense. Sometimes you look up, you got a dang triple double.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like sometimes.
Yeah, I think 7-game series. I lean.
I'll say
I
6.
wouldn't bet this. I wouldn't bet this because I ain't that confident. I would lean
No.
Denver because of best player. But if Kawhi Leonard shows up like he usually do in the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if Clippers get far.
Exactly.
Staying healthy, of course.
For
I
sure.
did want to bring up one series in the East just to get y'all thoughts. Milwaukee Bucks, Pacers. If the Bucks get beat, is it time for Doc to get them walking papers?
Man, it's been
Yeah.
time yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Glad we
Yeah,
on
it
it.
is.
Man, look,
It's
I've never
officially time.
seen a coach get to hold on to one championship.
We got our we got them playing five. Oh, we got it. Pacers in
Pacers
6.
in 6. Boy, you
Oh,
crazy.
man.
What are you smoking on, man?
Hey Trey,
I don't know.
should Doc get
He
them
on
walking
that.
papers?
He on that.
But yeah, Doc need his walking papers, man. You holding on to one championship so much. I mean, nah, man.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry
Nah,
for you.
man.
Pacers drew a bad matchup this time.
Yeah,
Giannis seems motivated, and I mean,
right,
this is eerily close to how he played this championship year. Just a
right.
quiet force. I honestly think he should be. Giannis is probably getting out of this round, and he might be lock him in for what seed are they right now?
There, I want to say this. Let me go look. I want to say the 6th seed, but I just want to
They're the
make sure.
6th seed.
No, no,
They
no, not
just
6. That's
avoided
4
play.
or 5, 4 or 5. So they would play. They play Cleveland.
They would play Cleveland. Cleveland better watch out.
Yeah,
If it
Cleveland
was
coming back down to earth.
Boston, I wouldn't worry.
Mhm.
Boston can handle them. They got the horses. Cleveland, I would worry
Yeah, midnight
because
the
now,
5th seed.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Well,
because now they're in like there's a real situation. There's a real worry with Donovan Mitchell. Like
Right.
he hasn't played. This hasn't been the Utah Donovan Mitchell, and some people have been saying, oh, he's been sacrificing, his points to make sure the team's more involved. But there's
Hmm.
been certain situations where, like during this losing streak, I'm like, okay, you could turn it on now, and he
Right.
just doesn't. It's like he just doesn't have it.
Right.
one of my coworkers brought this up. I didn't even think about this. He thinks Giannis is about to have. When he said it, I thought it was crazy, but he brought up the tale that Giannis has been on since Game was out. I
Mm-hmm.
think Giannis is about to have a 2018 Braun moment where he backpacked
Mm-hmm.
the team way farther than they should go. He had him going all the way to conference finals. He thought he packed them past the Pacers because the Pacers don't got enough paint defense to cover Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis is historically giving them 35 points and 8 and 15 rebounds every time he's seen them.
Yeah.
And he also thinks Giannis plays better without Dame. Just because I could just focus on getting downhill. Giannis is the primary playmaker. Everybody else just focus on shooting, playing defense.
Like
That's fair.
we give Shy a lot of credit for the season he's having, and Joker obviously having one of those historic all-time seasons. But Giannis is
Hey,
quietly in another year, he's quietly could have easily been an MVP candidate.
yeah, if he had a top 2 seed, if he was
Yeah, yeah.
Cleveland, he was on
With a better
Cleveland.
season. Yeah.
So I think that was the only series out east I thought was interesting outside of Detroit. Knicks
Yeah,
series.
I agree.
Obviously, we know Cleveland and Boston. You know, one of our colleagues. Oh, actually, we need to bring this up. You know, Dante. You know, our guest. He had a crash out take, y'all. I just want to get y'all thoughts.
Oh,
And maybe you
Lord.
can comment on this too. He had the Orlando Magic upsetting the Boston Celtics.
All right, I'm going to head out.
Where y'all going, man? Come on.
Man, bro, look.
You know what I gotta say?
No,
Man?
sir.
Dante, if you hear us, man, you got a lot of learning to do, bro.
You know what we gotta say to you, Dante? Here's what we're gonna play.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
And here's what we're gonna play. Here's what we're gonna play when Orlando gets eliminated in 5.
Hey, man. Orlando can make it a feisty series.
Yeah, man.
They have the tools to make it a feisty series, but it doesn't get past that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he said something for you, Terrence.
When he's like pissing the 7, hey man, hey midnight, if you hear me, like I said before, man, pissing, dissing, your mama tripping, we winning in 6, bro. Not even 5, we winning in 6.
Man, I think man, I think like I said, it's gonna be interesting, but I think those the top seeds I expect to advance outside of Houston. You want to watch. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
You
want to watch out. But everybody else, I like Orlando. I think
man, when it rains, it pours.
I think get some guards.
Yeah.
But the Warriors, Lord.
Next thing
Hey,
watch your mouth, bro. Leave Spike Lee out of
it. Yeah, man. I think we got some of our playoff predictions. I think it's gonna be some tough series. We ain't gonna put our predictions yet, but some of these series are toss-ups. We ain't even gonna lie to you. Like Golden State, I think should be favored over Houston. Denver, Clippers, toss-up. Pacers, Bucks. I slightly favor the Pacers just because you undermanned. But Giannis is the best player in that series.
Easily.
Pistons, Detroit, I'm going to give it to the Knicks. Knicks should come in as the favorite because they have playoff experience. But Phoenix can be dangerous.
It's going to be close.
Oh, yeah.
And Orlando, Atlanta, Memphis, and Cancun on 3.
Yeah.
They just happy they got in.
Yep.
I did have one take about Memphis, though. I think in the offseason, everybody talking about bringing Durant to Houston. Memphis need to go ahead and get their goon back, man. Go ahead and bring Dylan. Bring Dylan back to Memphis.
Man, Houston ain't letting him go.
If I'm Memphis, man, I got 2 first-round picks of Marcus Smart. Y'all can have him.
Nah. If I'm Memphis, I'm like either Bane or hell, it could even be Morant. One of y'all on the block. Let's go ahead and get us somebody.
Morant?
Yeah, I think I've seen enough now. Dude's been injured more than he's played, and this is coming from a Zion guy. Like, this is coming from a Pelicans fan.
But when he plays,
they're good. Like, I'm not going to.
Who do you think they should trade for, though? Who do you think should trade for?
There's Durant out there.
Durant always hurt too.
I think, but Durant,
he's played more than Morant.
Depending on what I gotta get. We talking from Memphis standpoint or Houston?
Memphis.
Well, from Houston standpoint, it makes complete sense.
Memphis, I think, if I keep Jaren Jackson and Ja, I give you Bane and Spitz. I give you Bane, Gigi Jackson. Shit, you can have Edie too. I don't know. You can have Edie.
Boy's the net negative. I watched the play-in game. Boy,
hey, he's a rookie. Hey man, he could be Baby Yow.
It's a
you ever heard the
between
saying
college
hand
and
down,
NBA.
man down? Boy, bring your hands up. You're 7 foot tall. The ball shouldn't be at your waist. If you get ripped by stuff, I gotta go. You gotta go.
That boy said NBA child gotta go. Not NBA. He gonna call. Oh, he crash out like young boy.
Man, I saw a meme the
Hey,
other day
y'all
about
see
John
that new
Morant and his new
celebration, man?
celebration.
Oh yeah,
They
with
said
the
it's like
grenade.
they said it's like a kill streak off a card.
Man, shoot, man, that's diabolical. You know, I'm gonna add one on here, even though Midnight ain't here. Man, you can go ahead and comment it. Man, what y'all Steelers doing, man? A-Rod talking about he don't know, you know. Y'all gonna get a quarterback, or is Mason Rudolph gonna be that man? You know, because it's looking real shaky.
You
That's
know, the
all.
Pittsburgh I
Mike
know would have
Tomlin.
been no nonsense.
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin said he's confident in Mason Rudolph. He said he's very confident.
Very confident.
He gonna go
Very
under
confident
500
that
for
he
the
gonna
first
go
time
win.
in 10 years. He gonna
Yeah,
go
I'm
under
about to say.
500.
Boy, he failed to remember the last time Mason Rudolph was the quarterback. They was under 500.
Yep.
He
gonna get fired this year. That
he forgot. You know, Mason Rudolph. He ain't been the same since Myles Garrett got them hands on him.
yeah. It wasn't no hand.
Gave my boy a concussion.
Oh! He said he going without mock draft. He said Sanders coming
coming.
home.
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought, what about
okay,
Dart?
I thought it was Dart. Dort, come on now.
Yeah, I'm
Nah, he
like,
got. You know he's sticking
oh
with his
yeah,
position.
Dart
Dart to
top
the
five.
Dart top 5.
Nah,
Dart top
Man,
5,
if they
man.
get Dart after getting Sanders and Jabbo, I gotta go.
That's gonna be a crash I take on the next pod. But also, just to, before we head out of here, we got a special edition coming up next week. We're gonna have 2 special guests for the draft pod edition. We're gonna be on a little bit earlier, 6:30. We're gonna be, because the draft start early. We're gonna give our predictions, what our team is doing, talking about the rumors. But before we go, man, I do gotta mention this with Voss being on. Derek Carr, man.
I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it, man.
Derek Carr. So the rumors in the streets in Louisiana.
My boy done put on the team.
But the rumors is he put out a fake report that he had a shoulder injury, so that the Saints wouldn't draft Shador or Jackson Dart or quarterback of the future. As a Saints fan, do you think it's false? Do you think it's true?
First of all, if Derek Carr put that rumor out, he leaked that himself. He probably one of the stupidest guys I've seen. Like, who sits there and look? Oh, my quarterback has a potential injury. Going for the going for the season, and sit there and think, oh, I'm not going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that would make me double down. That would make me less hesitant. What am I going to do? Get a tackle for
somebody?
For somebody who ain't going to be here. What are we doing?
My bad. My shoulder hurt. I'll just say this: the more you drive a used car, the more you find out what's wrong with it. It's time to get him out of there, man. No. It's time to get him out of there. We can't. No.
Blame the man. Blame the GM. We can't get rid of the man. $70-80 million cap hit this year, $60 million next year. He uncovered.
So
I wouldn't even start him, man. I would just put in Spencer Rattler or draft.
That's what I would do too. I'd pull the Russell Wilson Denver shit.
Yep.
You know what? We're gonna have you. You're gonna be on the bench. We're gonna make sure you don't get hurt again.
Oh, he gonna be clipboard. Just hold the clipboard.
Just hold the clipboard.
Shoot, man. But I had to bring that up before we go because that was, to me, that was one of the funniest stories. Oh, I'm like, so
it's funny to you because you an Eagles fan.
I just thought it was, to me, it sounded so stupid. I'm like, why would you fake an injury so they wouldn't draft somebody? How does that make sense? That would make me want to draft somebody.
It make me want to draft somebody.
Yeah. Like, if anything, you want to have, come on, I'm 100%, I'm 110%.
Exactly.
What's that?
Exactly.
I just found that interesting. But yeah, like I said, we're going to have a special edition for the pod next week. Going to be talking about the draft, some of the rumors we hearing, our predictions of the top 10, who we think our team's going to draft, and things of that nature. We're going to have 2 special guests. We're going to have, Dante going to be coming back, so he's going to bring back.
Okay.
This is Tyrone. He's an Eagles fan along with me, and they actually got a little guest. They got a little guest wager. You know, Dante thinks Shador ain't going to New Orleans, while Tyrone thinks Shador is going to New Orleans. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to be crashing out on the pod. I ain't even finna lie to y'all. But yeah, we appreciate y'all coming in for episode 13. We missed our dog Midnight, but he had to do some business tonight. But he was in the chat. We see you. But he's gonna be better on it next week. You know, like
ain't hearing that disappointment about Dort not getting drafted.
Oh yeah, he gonna owe us some food, man. He gonna owe us.
The whole team.
But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all again, man. As always, Bounce and Blitz podcast. We out.
Nixon 5.